Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Knowledge. Welcome to Brews and Reviews, and today I'm reviewing the new Brockhampton track, Count on Me, and talking about their album release announcement. And I am sipping on a 7K IPA from Sante Fe Brewing Company from, you guessed it, Sante Fe, New Mexico. This is a 7% IPA, a beer with just the right notes of subtlety and flavor, just like these notes from Brockhampton. Let's get into it. Also, it's April, and I said I'd give away a vinyl, so I'm gonna do that in just a moment. For everybody that entered the contest, I've got Nas Illmatic or Aesop Rock Spirit World Field Guide. Gonna announce the winner a little bit later in the video. I'm a huge Brockhampton fan, and that may surprise some people, but really anybody who denies their artistry is either not listening or they're just hating. Each member has their own distinct style, and the production is intricate, catchy, and experimental all at the same time, and that's how I like my music. To me, the Saturation trilogy was a hip-hop force and a milestone for the 2010s as far as album releases and innovative hip-hop music. While Iridescence and Ginger did backslide a little bit in my mind, they had a more commercial reach, but they were still solid projects and all the talent was still involved in those. But if I got my fellow old heads out there that are hating on me reviewing this track, just remember that the RZA, the person who came up with the business model of getting a huge group of varying personalities together, he co-signed these people. They got it on YouTube. RZA co-signing Brockhampton.
Real recognize real.
So now we've got a new album dropping next week, the very long titled Roadrunner New Light, New Machine. This borders a little bit on self-indulgent, confusing titles of the past. I'm thinking of Lupe Fiasco's Food and Liquor 2, The Great American Rap Album Part 1. Took a while to decipher what that means, so I'm interested to see if this Roadrunner New Light, New Machine, if that takes on a significant meaning as we hear the full album. Group leader Kevin Abstract also announced recently, much to the chagrin of super fans, that this will be the first of their last 2 albums as a group. Now, is that true or not? We don't know for sure. A lot of rappers do announce retirement only to come back a year or so later. Sometimes they do it just to build the hype. However, with a group, it's different. It's very difficult to keep groups together as people want to go in their own artistic directions and have their own kind of style and impact on the industry, as well as get some money without splitting it so many ways. And this is true especially in hip hop. It goes back at least as far as NWA, with members in that situation, of course, feeling like they were getting cheated and backstabbed by others. It evolved into all sorts of diss tracks, which actually ended up being great for the listeners. And some might argue that Ice Cube and Dre and Eazy's solo careers were even greater than NWA. So that could have been a good thing in hindsight, the breakup of NWA. And a more modern example, of course, is Odd Future, a group that Brockhampton is often compared to, which also disbanded, although in a more friendly way than NWA had done that previously. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I feel like if we get 2 more Brockhampton albums, that there's not much more we need from a group as Brockhampton. And I might be more interested to hear what else Kevin Abstract does in his solo work. I like his solo work already, so more would be welcome. Dom McLennon, I would love to hear on a solo project, so interested to hear that as as well. Other members like Joba could go off on something completely different, and we might get some great innovative sounds from these dudes going their separate ways. For no further evidence than my favorite group of all time, Wu-Tang. Yes, their first two group projects were classics and among the best in the catalog, but also once they went their separate ways and started doing solo work, a lot of those are classics. Till we get to today, Wu-Tang never officially disbanded, although their last couple group projects, most people would say that the more modern solo work is better than those are. So when the chemistry's gone and they start making money and not collaborating together as much, who wants a group to be forced? You want the natural chemistry to come out, and if they're not in a place in their lives where they can do that, then they might as well go solo. I'm okay with that. My only ask is that before they disband completely, that they tour one more time as a group. I was supposed to see these guys back in 2018 with the hype of Saturation and all of that, and a few weeks before they got to my city, they announced that they were going on hiatus because of the Amir van situation. Very disappointed. I never got to see them. I was excited. I'd seen online how hype their shows could be. So please, when things clear up from the pandemic, tour one more time before you disband completely. All right, so before I get into the review of this specific track, let's give away some vinyl. I only had 3 people partake in this contest, but that's okay. We're going to do it anyway, and this just betters their chances of winning. You all got a 33% chance of winning. So I've got Adam, who entered off of Twitter, Pew Pew, and Mr. F. All great subscribers to this channel, and here we go. I've got them entered now into the mini web tool, and I am going to go ahead and pick a random name. Here we go. Adam, Pew Pew, Mr. F. And the winner is Adam. Congratulations, Adam. Hit me up. Give me your address. Let me know which vinyl you want, and I'll get that shipped directly to you. Congrats, Adam. I'm going to be really sad to see one of these vinyls go for my collection. So count on me. I really like how this starts with a soft whistle and a very chill vibe. Some of those acoustic guitar riffs as the hard bass drops kick in. This is a Brockhampton production style that they have proven to employ so well. And I think it's good that they juxtaposition the crazy, wild, energetic track Buzzcut featuring Danny Brown, which dropped a week or two ago, with this more chill beat. And the way it's starting, I could almost hear Dom kick this off, but instead we get a surprise verse from A$AP Rocky. In the verse, he references a Field Mob song, and Field Mob is not talked about much today, but they were kind of the second wave of the Georgia hip-hop sound right after Outkast and Goody Mob in that era in the early and mid 90s. And Field Mob was coming from the early 2000s, much in the same wave of Ludacris. So it's cool that he brings that up here. The verse as a whole is a little abstract and has some non sequiturs, and I'm trying to figure out how some of these lines fit into the song as a whole, particularly when he says, "Change the conversation, dollars all I'm chasing, ain't talking money, fuck is you saying?" And it almost seems like the opposite idea of what we get into in the chorus as he's doing some of these money-related bars. Because the chorus says, "It'll be okay no matter what they say about us. I know that it'll be okay. You ain't even need no money. You can count on me." The chorus very much tinges on the pop side of their sound, which they do well when it's sparingly. They do go a little overboard sometimes, but they've definitely got the pop appeal on the chorus of this, with vocals by member Jabari, guest star Ryan Beatty, who's been on some of their best tracks in my opinion, Queer and Bleach, just to name a few, but he's probably most famous for what he did on their track Sugar. And then we've also got Shawn Mendes on this, which is an interesting inclusion because on the track Star off their very first album, Kevin Abstract has the lyrics where he said, "I don't fuck with no white boys unless it's Shawn Mendes." So he finally got him to collaborate with the group. Relatively unknown rapper SoGoneSoFlexy handles verse 2, and that's interesting because by my count, we've had 2 Brockhampton singles so far off of Roadrunner, and it adds up for a total of 2 actual Brockhampton member verses on these 2 songs because we only have a Kevin Abstract verse on Buzzcut, and we only have a Matt Champion verse here. No other Brockhampton members are doing verses on these first 2 tracks. That's not necessarily bad because we do have the trademark Brockhampton production from their in-house production team, and both Rocky and SoGone sound adequate over this beat. And I had to look up who SoGone was. I had not heard of him before, and apparently he's signed to Kevin Abstract's label, so they've reached this point in their careers where they can put others on and give them a feature on one of their high-profile tracks to build hype. With that in mind, I think he failed in the objective. Usually when somebody gets a chance to shine, they're going to give their best stuff. If this is his best stuff, then I'm not necessarily interested in the rest, although he does have a nice southern style and deep voiced delivery, but he's not doing anything spectacular with the flow and lyrics, although like I said before, it's adequate. It fits in the song. If this is somebody else spitting these lyrics, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just he didn't capitalize on his chance to shine, sandwiched between A$AP Rocky and Matt Champion. And after his 10 bars, we do get to Matt Champion, and I think this may be the best verse that we've heard from him in a while. In my opinion, he was one of the highlights on the Saturation trilogy. He definitely had some standout verses there, but not so much as they got into Iridescence and Ginger. But here he brings it back. He's playing with flow a little bit, doing something a little unique, especially as after we get about 4 bars into his verse, they add elements to the beat, and he appropriately switches up his flow when that happens, and he says, "I don't got it, baby. Ask them boys. All that hating turned to white noise. Trying to get red carpet fly. I don't flex my life. I don't lie. Treat life like I might die. Don't like myself sometimes, but I bet that come with time. Ever feel like your head got screws a little bit loose? Goddamn, give a fuck if I lose." Very promising for Matt Champion. Go ahead and set up that solo career right now, although he's probably the 4th one that I'm checking for solo-wise from the group. Ultimately, this is a good lead single to promote Roadrunner, which will be released next week, and I'm really looking forward to that album. Thank you for watching my review of Brockhampton's Count on Me. If you like this, go ahead and hit like now and hit me up in the comments. If you didn't like it, also let me know why in the comments. I drop hip-hop and hops related content consistently, so until I see you next time, keep buzzing.